Present day, 25-ish, a quiet coastal nursing home in South Carolina. An elderly man named Elias, mid-80s, gentle, still sharp-eyed despite frailty, sits beside an elderly woman named Clara in the sunlit common room. She has advanced Alzheimer's and rarely recognizes faces. Every afternoon, Elias reads aloud from a thick, weathered notebook bound in faded blue leather. The pages are filled with handwriting, some his, some hers, alternating entries from decades ago. He reads slowly, voice steady. Summer, 1946, the day the sky opened up and we remembered who we were. Clara listens, sometimes smiling faintly, sometimes frowning, as fragments spark behind her eyes. The nurses know Elias as her devoted visitor, but no one knows he is her husband of 60 years. He uses the notebook to bring her back, even for minutes at a time. Flashback. Summer, 1946, Seabrook, South Carolina. The war is over, the world is rebuilding. In a sleepy coastal town, 21-year-old Elias Whitaker works at the lumber mill by day and scribbles poetry on scraps of paper by night. He dreams of one day publishing a small book of verses about the sea, love, and ordinary miracles. At the annual summer festival, he spots 19-year-old Clara Langford, elegant, quick-witted, from a wealthy Charleston family vacationing in their beach house. She's sketching charcoal drawings of the Ferris wheel lights. Elias, bold from a glass of moonshine courage, approaches and compliments her sketch. She laughs, calls him another mill boy with big talk. He challenges her to a poetry duel. Whoever makes the other smile first wins a boat ride. They banter under string lights. He wins with a silly verse about her eyes being two storms that could sink ships or save them. She agrees to the boat ride the next day. Over the next weeks, they steal every moment. Midnight swims, drives in his beat-up truck, lying on the dock reading poetry to each other. Elias shows her an old, half-ruined cottage on the marsh edge, his secret place. He tells her his dream: fix it up, live simply, maybe publish his poems one day. Clara confesses she wants to study art in Paris, but her parents have other plans: a suitable marriage, a life of garden parties, and security. They fall deeply in love. One rainy night in the cottage, they almost make love for the first time. But Clara pulls back, afraid of what it means. They argue. Elias says love isn't safe. Clara says she isn't ready to lose everything. Hurt, Elias walks away. Clara, regretting it instantly, runs after him but finds the cottage empty. Her mother arrives the next morning and insists they return to Charleston early. Clara leaves a note under the cottage door. It isn't goodbye. Wait for me. The long separation. 1946-1952. Elias writes Clara a poem letter every single day for a year. 365 pieces, each sealed in a glass jar, placed in a wooden box. He sinks into the marsh near the cottage, his rain-proof promise. Clara never receives them. Her mother intercepts the first few. Then none arrive, because Elias stops sending after silence. Clara tries college, but drops out after one semester, overwhelmed. She volunteers at a veterans hospital and meets Daniel Warwick, a kind, ambitious doctor from a respected family. He proposes after 2 years. Her parents are thrilled. Clara accepts, thinking Elias has moved on. Meanwhile, Elias fights his grief by pouring everything into the cottage. He restores it board by board, turning it into the home he once described to Clara. White, with blue shutters, a wide porch, a room with marsh views for her to paint. He publishes a slim volume of poetry locally under a pseudonym. It sells modestly, but gives him purpose. The Reunion, 1952. While shopping for her wedding dress, Clara sees a newspaper photo. Local poet restores dream cottage. Open house tomorrow. The house matches exactly what she and Elias once imagined. Her heart stops. She drives to Seabrook alone, telling Daniel it's a last look at childhood memories. She arrives at dusk. Elias is on the porch, reading. They stare at each other across the yard. No words at first. Inside, they talk for hours. Elias shows her the box of unsent jars, hundreds of poems. He never stopped loving her. Clara breaks down, admitting she never forgot him either. They kiss in the rain outside, just like their first real fight. They spend 3 days together, reconnecting, making love, laughing, crying. But reality crashes in. Daniel arrives, having followed her. Clara's mother appears too, pleading. Clara panics and drives away in tears. Elias doesn't chase her this time. He lets her choose. Back in Charleston, Clara reads the poems from the jars Elias gave her. One line repeats, "If you ever come back, I'll be here waiting in the rain." She confronts Daniel honestly. He understands, releases her gently. Clara drives through a storm back to Seabrook. Elias is on the porch again, soaked, waiting. She chooses him. Their life together, 1953, 2025. They marry quietly. Clara paints in the marsh room. Elias's poetry finds a small but devoted audience. They raise 2 children, travel a little, argue often, love fiercely. Over decades, they fill the notebook together, alternating entries about ordinary days, big moments, fears of growing old. When Clara's memory begins to slip in their 70s, Elias starts reading the notebook to her daily. It becomes their anchor. Elias finishes reading the final entry, Clara's handwriting from years ago. "If I ever forget, read this to me. Promise we'll leave together when the time comes." Clara looks at him, eyes clearing for a moment. "Elias, I remember the rain." They dance slowly to their old song on a small radio. She asks about their children. He answers softly. The clarity fades. She panics, calls for help. Nurses sedate her gently. That night, Elias sneaks into her room despite his weak heart. He climbs into bed beside her. "I'm here, Clara," like always. They fall asleep holding hands. The next morning, a nurse finds them peaceful, still entwined,